and see for yourself. Come on, let's beat feet to the big warehouse down at Pier 12.
Fine, you amoral automaton. War away!
A moonless night and an unguarded skylight. Just what we needed to stealthily infiltrate this warehouse.
Going up.
Yes, and our view from above is advantageous, for the gathering below is unlike any soiree I've ever seen.
Robots. Dozens of them. All shapes and sizes. And on the stage, their leader. Another robot. No. Not a robot. A man in a robot costume. Shh. Shut up, you dummies. Us robots got good hearing. You gotta get yourselves caught. Now listen. Boss man's about that talk. My robotic children. My glorious creations. We stand tonight at the dawn of a new era. For too long, the human vermin of Boston have destroyed this fair city. The flesh is weak, but steel is strong. You, my children, will usher in a new age, an age of robots, led by me, your father, the Mechanist. So, evil does have a name. The revolution begins tonight, my precious offspring. But first, let us welcome our special guests for this evening. Silver Shroud and the Mistress of Mythos. Oh.
What will become of our stalwart hero? Find out what happens next week on another exciting episode of The Silver Shroud. You've been listening to Galaxy News Radio, a wholly owned subsidiary of Galaxy News Network.
Galaxy News Radio.
When evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is the Silver Shroud. Today's episode, The Mechanist Unmasked.
Dangling over a bit of fire. Reminds me of our adventure against the Chelsea Maynard, a mistress.
Indeed, stalwart Shroud. But that malformed murderer was but a muppet compared to the malignancy of the Mechanist.
Malignant, am I? No, mistress of mystery. What you mistake for evil is actually enlightenment. Only I, the Mechanist, truly understand the folly of humankind. The flesh is weak. Metal is the future of Massachusetts. The only future you have is a long nap in a deep hole, Mechanist. To me, you're just another two-bit hustler with delusions of grand. And by the way, you're not fooling anyone with that cheap getup. You're as human as the rest of us.
So what shall it be? Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
Join.
Die!
Join.
Die! I doubt even the FEV will
Help.
you. Why am I talking? It's unlikely you even understand.
Welcome. We're always
Hi.
looking for
Welcome,
new members.
neighbor. We're always glad to see a new face around here. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken?
I don't have time for this.
You should make time for something this important, neighbor. We call our... But we're growing...
Sure.
Step right...
I don't want whatever you're selling.
I'm not selling any... What do you say?
You owe it to yourself to give it a
I
chance.
have some questions first.
Of course you do.
Uh-huh. I don't have any more questions.
Good.
You owe it to yourself
Then
to
I
give
hope
it a
you're
chance.
ready.
Yes, I am.
All right then. Fantastic. You won't regret it. I promise you. We haven't had a single... I
Hello,
hope you
neighbor.
decide to change your mind. Hi, today. I'm always excited to welcome a new member into our fold.
You should talk to Brother Thomas about how to join our movement.
Don't be shy. Just follow me. Alrighty. I hope you're as excited as I am. This is one of my favorite parts of the job. Getting to welcome new members into our group. The first step is simple. You have to learn to give up your attachment to material possessions in order to gain the ability to have true wealth, health, just go.
Uh-huh. I'm actually just looking for Emma Jean Cabot.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Emma Jean is indisposed right now. She's not seeing visitors.
I'm not leaving without seeing her.
You can't see her. She, can't come out of her room right now. Not that it's any of your business, but she and I are just having a little relationship trouble. You know how it is. She's not seeing anybody until...
Uh-huh. I'm going to see her, one way or another. Your choice.
You picked the wrong guy to mess with.
So that's it, huh?
Something's out there. Keep him off.
This isn't what I was so...
You're not my neighbor.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
That's right. I'm here to rescue you.
What makes you think
You're Jack's sister? I was expecting someone a bit... younger.
You really know how to flatter a lady, don't you? Just to be clear, once I get home and get some of Jack...
Jack has a serum that reverses aging?
It really isn't any of your business. And I know it was Jack who sent you.
You don't seem very grateful for being rescued.
I'm fine, as you can see. But since I was bored with Thomas, he actually thought he could force me to join his absurd...
Let's get out of here.
Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink
Halloween may be long gone, but we have yet to... The impact of this single video game level cannot be understated. Just look up the OST for this place and you'll find countless comments and memes about the frustration and anguish these people felt when they first set foot into these unholy rooms and corridors. And to those people I say, yeah, me too. I think we all got our ass handed to us in one way or another during this stage of the game. But is this because it really was that
Hey, I've got a question for you.
Maddening. Not now.
Oh
Ed,
my
not
god,
now.
it's happening.
See now. How's this?
Oh, that's done it. Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that... For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to
Got it.
Lorenzo.
Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward? Come in. Edward! There's no signal at all. I've lost
What's happening, Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free
Don't
him...
worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
Isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not
So
mine.
what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
Oh. What do you want?
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. Strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
Let's go.
Good. I'll explain on the way. Hold on. Weren't you off looking for Imogene? Did you...
I found her, as requested. Now what about my pay?
Oh, yes. Edward usually handles these things. You want caps, I suppose? Let me see what I have. I hope this is close to your usual fee.
At least there's one small comfort on this terrible day.
Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, you need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
Why is that so important?
If these intruders have gotten past Edward's men, they may have created an extraordinarily dangerous situation. I'm the only one who understands how to deal with these dangers. Is that...
Got it.
Good. Make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And try not to hurt
I
him.
love Father at least as much as you do, but you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only...
hard? Well, to some degree, yes. Yes, it was. But not necessarily because of the dungeon itself. I think the majority of our problems and struggles can be chalked up to the following. A. Many of us were relatively young when we first played Ocarina of Time. B. 3D gaming was still a bit of a novel concept for many people around this time, and navigating in 3 dimensions wasn't as intuitive as it is now. Nowadays, people make fun of the fact that Navi has to explain to Link how to open a door or push a block. But this kind of stuff really was necessary for a lot of people coming from the 16-bit era to get acclimated to this new way of playing video games. And see, Ocarina of Time may be a timeless classic to many, but it definitely had some grade A BS built into its game design that made things unnecessarily frustrating and obtuse. Now, don't get me wrong, what Nintendo managed to achieve back then is nothing short of legendary, and it's no surprise why the game is still regarded regarded as one of the best video games ever made. They took a formula that was born in the 2D era and successfully translated it to a new format, overcoming many hurdles 3D action-adventure games were challenged with, all the while inventing brand new gameplay mechanics that are still used today, albeit refined. They did it before with Mario and they did it again here. But it was still the early days of 3D gaming, and obviously they didn't get everything right on the first try. The Water Temple is one of those places where some of these limitations are emphasized, like the camera. As much as the camera did its job in wide open areas, it definitely struggled in small confined spaces, especially tight corridors. And of course, when discussing the Water Temple, it's impossible to get around its most prominent flaw. The one issue that has been hammered into the ground by this point, that being the way the iron boots are utilized. We all know the deal. When inside a body of water, the normal boots make you float, while the iron boots make you sink to the bottom. Every time you need to swap between the two, you have to pause the game.
Ready? Let's go.
Navigate to the equipment section, select the boots you want to equip, and exit the pause menu. Every damn time. Even when playing at peak efficiency, meaning you know exactly where to go, skipping optional rooms and utilizing diving whenever possible, you will still be hitting that pause button around 30 times throughout the whole experience. And yes, I counted. And that's excluding all the times you may need to pause for different reasons, like changing weapons or checking the map. And like I said, that's if you know what you're doing. On your first playthrough, that number is likely going to be twice, probably 3 times that amount or even more. This alone makes the Water Temple a drag to get through, and I honestly have no idea how it made it through playtesting back in the day. I mean, someone had to have taken notice of this, right? It's also no surprise then that Nintendo rectified this mistake for the 3DS remake, which made the boots function as an item you can map to the face buttons instead. But even with this improvement, I still feel like it isn't enough to unlock the dungeon's full potential. Yes, descending and ascending is now quicker and easier, but underwater traversal is still slow and tedious. Your mobility is still heavily crippled, and having to rely on the hookshot alone and not being able to use your sword is frustrating. And it's a shame, because there's a lot to like about the Water Temple. In fact, I would argue that underneath all the clunkiness lies one of the smartest, well thought out and most original dungeons in the series. It's also one of only a few 3D Zelda dungeons that can compete with the complexity of some of the earlier 2D ones. It's like a miniature Metroidvania level. There's a lot of directions to choose from and many places you aren't able to visit until later, forcing you to keep track of where you have or haven't been. The Water Temple is all about roadblocks and demands that the player understands how its many rooms and corridors are connected and how the different water levels affect those connections. As the cherry on top, it also has one of the coolest and most memorable mini-bosses in Zelda dungeon history. So with all that said, let's take a closer look at the Water Temple. How it's designed, what made it difficult, and how the layout and progression works.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. Shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our
Despite the fact that the Water Temple is generally considered to be one of the hardest dungeons to navigate, the flip side is that it's also the dungeon you are probably the least likely to die in. The enemy variety is pretty low, and they aren't exactly among the most difficult ones. They don't do a lot of damage, and aside from some very cheap scenarios where you're helpless to fight back, getting hit by them is mostly a matter of impatience. At best, they can be annoying, especially when you're underwater, but there's enough refills to get you through no problem. You might die on Dark Larry on your first try when you haven't figured out how to deal with him yet, but since the actual final boss is an absolute pushover, chances are you won't see a game over screen very often, especially if you came prepared with medicine or fairies. In spite of its confusing layout, the Water Temple only has 4 floors, even less than the very first dungeon. Inside
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always.
But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the... I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady and never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah. God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestar Collective space? Fewer regs. A job like this in the United Colonies? Huh. Reams of red tape. Ugh. Look at this one over here. Calvert! No! No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up! Benning, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go!
Yeah, okay.
What do we say, Dusty? You make your cut, you get your cut. No exceptions. Come on, pick it up! Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze. Yes, ma'am.
Dusty, you're up. Take that cutter you grabbed and mine what you can. Metal deposits are in that cavern. I'll shout out when I need you.
You think we'll be done here soon? I'm busy. Anyone else will bother?
You're ready, boss. Get back up here.
Come on. It's time. You're with me. Let Hella do his job. It's delicate.
Standard's reading a clean break. Shut it down.
Let's go!
Yeah, about that. Not if you consider a spike in gravity readings a problem.
I don't.
You don't?
What we're after, it'll read as an anomaly. That's what I was told anyway.
Okay, now you're starting to freak me out.
Relax. It's just another job.
We're getting close, I think. Yeah, everything is just... Lynn, seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there. We'll come.
Still getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
Do you see anything?
Come on, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
You were a good find when we hired you. Former military always knows how to get the job done. Well, you got the sample. Client's on his way, then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened? Huh. Well, makes the paperwork easier, and we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Huh. Sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be... Speak of the devil. Our constellation contact is on approach.
Wait, the Explorers group? I thought they were kind of a joke.
Not a joke. You're just too young to know better.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
Whoa,
Half the crew
you don't
doesn't
look
believe
good.
Earth exists, but it's still there. Same with Constellation.
Yeah, but come on. Exploring space? Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently. All right, Dusty. Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Barrett?
Man,
Been a long time.
yes it has. That mine on Bendy, right?
Kazal, hellhole, like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
So, you found something?
Right here. The new guy found it.
That right. And everything went cool? Just like grabbing those minerals on Bendy?
Kazal, and no Barrett, not cool. He passed out after the extraction. Doesn't even remember what happened.
Is that right, cowboy? Went on a trip, huh? All right. Little disappointing, not gonna lie, but reveling in the weird of space isn't everyone's idea of a good time. I get it.
Look, just hand over the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing, or you, ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
I really thought I lost them.
Barrett? Everybody get ready! Just like the emergency drill! Go! Go! Followed every time.
Well, that was some fine work under pressure. You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now. Marvelous.
Oh, no, Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as he touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things. Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well, now that that's settled. Vasco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo? Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time. Hey, look at that. The watch fits you perfectly. Now, questions? And Vasco, don't let him break my ship.
just up the ramp, Captain. I'll be in the external robotics bay. Captain Gray, I assume you know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties. Shields ready. The rest is up to you. It might be wise to test all controls and systems to ensure they are not on the verge of catastrophic failure. I can step you through the entire process, or if you're already an experienced pilot, just power up all the systems, and we'll be on our way. Ship requires power. Allocating power is under your direct control. Let's go over the engines. Engines control our maximum speed. Try increasing and decreasing our relative velocity. A ship's engine has a sweet spot for better handling during turns. Draw your attention to the HUD. You'll notice a speed indicator in the lower left with a gauge that goes up and down as you adjust the throttle. Try to center the gauge so that it lines up with the center of the vertical bars to its right. Boosts can be engaged for temporary bursts of speed. Let's turn our attention to the shields. Try adjusting power to the shields. Notice more power increases their strength. Shields protect the ship from hull damage. Without a hull, they'll be vaporized. Shield health is displayed in the lower right. Hull damage is below it. Pilot, are you familiar with ship combat tactics? Because that's a Crimson Fleet ship bringing its weapons to bear. We will need to disable their shields. Laser-based weaponry is particularly effective. If you can keep the enemy ship centered on the HUD, we can lock in to fire a homing missile. The enemy shields are down, Captain. Ballistic weaponry excels at damaging the hull once shields are offline. Congratulations on surviving your first Starship assault, Captain. We should search the wreckage for spare parts and other salvage. You will need to fly close to it before we can access the remains. Crimson Fleet Fleet ships are jumping into our location, Captain. To deal with the local Crimson Fleet captain. A recent scan indicates an abandoned facility on the nearby moon of Crete, a perfect staging area for pirates. The abandoned facility with our Crimson Fleet captain is on the surface.